if I ask you a question, 5 terminologies which are very, very crucial for a person applying for a product related job in fintech, what they would be?
Um, Depends largely on which side of, I mean, fintech is huge.
Huge.
It's huge. So it largely depends. If you're applying for bill payments, the set of terminologies are going to be very different compared to if you're applying for Bitcoin based fintech company versus if you're applying for say a loan based a lending company or a BNPL company, BNPL buy now pay later company. So it is going to vary a lot. There is no fixed set of 5 things which I'll
Understood.
be able to answer, but do check for your role you are going to apply for well in advance, and then I think just Google. I mean, that's going to help you the best.
But what increases the chances of a person getting shortlisted at PhonePe from resume? And how's this whole process is like? Let's say I apply for a job in product in PhonePe.
Right.
How that flow is, if you can explain.
Right. So, well, to answer your question on the process, I personally went through some 7 rounds of interview at PhonePe.
Which starts from resume shortlisting.
Right, which starts from resume shortlisting, one quick interaction with the HR. Then you would be running through a lot of, interview questions where they will check you on your guesstimate capabilities, on your capabilities towards setting roadmaps, your capabilities towards defining a feature, your capabilities towards breaking down the problem statement. All these things will be explored through various rounds of interviews by not just product managers but also business teams, where they would try and take understanding of what is your take or overall understanding of business. Just to give you one example, if for UPI currently, should MDR continue to be 0 for UPI payments? So that is one example which I promptly recall. I was expected to have an opinion for when I was interviewing for PhonePe. So yeah, so that is there. And I think one engineering round is something which happens for sure at PhonePe, where they don't like ask you to go deep into the engineering or the coding part, but they definitely ask you to have a good amount of understanding on how you should be defining services or how should various services be interacting between them. Yeah.
That's pretty detailed. You have been taking a couple of interviews in past. What is that first question that you ask people apart from explaining about themselves? And if that is a question, what do you actually look for? Is it their expertise towards fintech, or because if they are applying for a fintech, or what is the next question that you ask?
Right. So recently I did get a chance to interview a couple of I'm not say freshers, but college graduates from IIM and ISB. So I think the first quality that I look in these people is the capability for them, like their ability to break down a problem statement, which is very important for me.
So is it like more towards a storytelling sort of scenario? Because I have been hearing from a lot of product managers that you should be good at it. You should be great
Definitely,
at
you should be
storytelling.
good at storytelling. But even before storytelling, you should be able to break down your problem statement to the granularity, like make it as granular as possible, just for you to divide your problem statement and specifically attack things and work towards them. So user empathy and problem statement breakdown are the 2 important things, because problem statements can be as wide as how many cars are there in Bangalore. That's a problem statement, and you have to build a petrol pump station. So you have to take a call on how many petrol pumps you should be building, what should be the functionality for it. So that's an ecosystem of its own. But the problem statement is a one-line problem statement, that how many cars are there in Bangalore. So you should have the capability to be able to break it down, approach it in the right way.
So this is a very, very vague question, and you mentioned that you have to go very, very deep in, let's say, breaking down a problem statement. What are the available resources people can go through and understand how to answer these questions? Because if we start answering this will be an interview in itself.
I know. So yeah, I mean, as you said, it's going to be an interview in itself. So that is where the clue lies. There are a lot of interviews which are already available, where people are, like a lot of experienced product managers are being interviewed for such questions by experts from Google or from Facebook, etc. The YouTube videos are available on Google. I think I'd share the links with you. You can maybe put it up in your video. And except that, there's a lot of reading material available online where you can read on what are something very generic questions that get asked to product managers who are interviewing for Facebook or for Google. I mean, the list that you see is very comprehensive and exhaustive in nature.
My final question, 3 things that you will recommend people to learn or let's say understand for fintech product managers role. Three
Right.
things.
I think number one is be good at breaking down problem statements, and you should be fast in adapting to the situations, because fintech is a very fast moving space.
True.
So you should be fast. There are going to be time, situations, conditions when you would be halfway building a problem statement and then suddenly you'll have to switch to another. So that is important. I think the third thing is Google well.
Oh, Google.
Yes, Google well. Read your job profile well before interviewing. Understand, break down the job profile. Google the terminologies. Understand the business you are going to interview for. Say, supposedly you are interviewing for PhonePe. You should have good amount of understanding on what all does PhonePe do and what are the nitty-gritties of what they do. And you should also look at their competitor profiles, because that
Interesting.
gives you a good idea of where PhonePe is doing good, or where PhonePe, or for that matter any company is doing good or that company is lacking. That builds up a good base for you to put your thought process in front of the interviewer. That kind of creates a difference there.
That's a very interesting answer to that question. Are you still looking for product managers at PhonePe?
Yes, definitely we are.
So-
We are.
So how people can approach you or PhonePe to apply for product
Sure.
management?
You can directly write down to me or reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile and DM me. I'm always open towards interacting with people and receiving more resumes, because PhonePe is actively looking out for good and potentially talented product managers there. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can directly reach out to PhonePe through their careers page.
So let's say people are facing issues in terms of building resumes specific for fintech at PhonePe. Can you help people those out? If let's say you guys DM Priyanka and
Sure.
she'll help you out in building better resumes.
Sure, definitely. I think my LinkedIn profile is quite updated. You can have a look at the way I tried formulating my resume when I was applying for PhonePe. And except for that, if you DM, I would definitely be happy to help you in any which way possible.
Sure. Thanks a lot for all the answers.
Thank you so much.
Everybody go ahead and check out PhonePe careers page or DM Priyanka to get your next job in fintech, which is the fastest moving space apart from that 10 minutes delivery what Swiggy and Blinkit are doing. And reach out to her. She is ready to help and make your resumes better or better articulation of product fintech questions. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Priyanka.
Thank you, Samyak.
Thanks.